Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. Today's video is on this palette right here. So this is another exclusive item to Ulta. It's Ulta and Colourpop. So this is the You Are a Cutie palette. I always think of, well, okay, whenever I don't even know how to begin this, but just this phrase in general reminds me of that MIA song, and I would totally sing it for you guys, but I'm not gonna do that to you because you don't want that. This is the packaging of the palette. There are other items in the collection. Look at those cute little hearts too. That is super cute. I don't think I even noticed that right away. Like when I picked up the palette, I don't even think I even saw that. But look at that, that's so cute. Okay, so this palette retails for $18. Like I said, so this is a Ulta exclusive. I think eventually they might end up having it on Colourpop's website. At least that's what it sounded like, if they don't already have it on their website, but I think eventually they will. I feel like with the exclusive palettes, they usually started at Ulta and then maybe add it onto their website. I honestly don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just Ulta. That would make sense. If it was exclusive, it should only be at Ulta, right? Anyways, there are other items in the collection. I have literally been stalking this collection so hard, just waiting to get my hands on everything, and I only ended up with a palette. So they do have a lippy kit with, I think it's a lippy stick and whatchamacallit, a liner and some sort of primer. That's in a bundle. There's a blush and highlight bundle, and then there's a couple other things. There was supposed to be a lip balm and a lip scrub, and I think there's a couple other things I don't remember exactly, a Glitterly Obsessed and all of that. But they only had the palette, the Glitterly Obsessed, and the lip kit with the lippy stick in there. I swatched, well, you can't really see it now because I ended up wiping it off. I literally just picked up this palette, by the way. I didn't really like the color of the lip kit. I was just it would be too pink on me, and I don't really like wearing pink lipstick. I don't know. More nudie pink colors, totally fine. Cool tone pinks, totally fine. But once we get into that, oh, what, it's not a Barbie pink, it's less than that, you know. It's not quite as vibrant, but I don't know. Just anyways, don't mind me. So I did just pick up the palette because they didn't have the blush and highlight. I don't know why I'm completely blanking on my words. They didn't have that there, and that was one of the only other things I was gonna get was that little bundle, and also I was interested in getting that lippy scrub and the lip balm, but I mean, I can always get that at a different time too. But anyways, this is the palette. This is a 12 pan palette, and like I said, it does retail for $18. There you go. And this is the inside of the palette. So super pretty purples and pinks. This is kind of a Valentine's collection, I guess you can call it. And then look at it, it has the same hearts as it did on the box. So that's so cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So the first row is Too Hot For You, or we're gonna start with Too Hot For You. So just your typical off-white brow bone shade. This is Love Me, L-U-V, Love Me. Alright, and Angel Face with Love. I don't know why, but whenever love is spelled with a U, L-U-V-E, or L-U-V-E, L-U-V, I always want to say Louvre. I don't know. That's not even correct, but I don't know why. Okay, and this is So Fine. This is the shade Kiss Me, and this is one of the, oh, that's not, so it looks super pigmented on my finger, so we'll see. Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty. I love shadows with a little bit of a shift to them. So pretty. Okay, and this is the shade Lover. That just reminds me of the Taylor Swift song, and now it's gonna be stuck in my head all the time. all the time. This is the shade Love Note. And that one's kind of patchy. Shade First Date. You try that one more time. So I did dip back in. I guess it's not getting better than that. This is Candygram. Do you guys ever remember those little, like, I guess it is like a Candygram or whatever, or some places would call them different things, but I forget what my school would call them, but you would be able to send like a lollipop to someone that you liked and you could put your name on it, or you could do it anonymously. Yeah, those were great and lame all at the same time because it was cool when you got one, but then if you didn't know who it was kind of creepy, and then if you didn't get one, you felt bad. Anyways, this is the Cutie Pie shade. Clearly, I'm speaking from experience. Was that like in middle school or is that high school thing? I don't even remember. And this is the shade Heart Eyes. And this is the last shade. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Coming out a little patchy with some of those mattes, but nothing too concerning. Majority of the mattes actually swatched out pretty nicely, but mattes will be mattes. Alright, a tiny bit of staining, but nothing crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the look and then come back and show you guys what I got so far. Okay, so this is what we got going on. Not the best look I've ever done, but you know, totally fine. We're gonna probably pop some lashes and do a fun like color in the waterline area, probably like a purple of some sort. Wouldn't that make sense, right? But yeah, I don't know. So far, I'm just like, as I'm using this palette, I'm literally just thinking like, I didn't need this. Like I didn't need this. You probably don't need it either. Like, it's not bad, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the look that I'm doing right now and it's not fully selling me on this palette. I mean, I already bought it, so here we are, but I don't know. I just feel like super underwhelmed and I don't feel super inspired while I look at this, which like at first I will say I had this really pretty idea with the four, like these four right here. So this one, this one, this one, and this one, doing kind of like a smoked out sort of all just shimmer and then blend it out a little bit with whatever mattes I felt would be best, probably a little more nude ones. So I was gonna do that. As I was swatching it on my arm, and like I haven't even tried to remove any of these, but even swatching it on my arm, like they just seem to just lose like life. Like I don't know, this look even feels like it's starting to just lose its life. I don't know if that was the best thing to say, but I don't know. We'll continue with that later. Let's just go ahead and show you how I got this. Okay, so we're gonna start off with dropping my brush. We're gonna start off with this Heart Eyes shade. So this shade right here, and I can already tell you before I start applying this to my eye, this shade just looks different applied than it does in the pan, and I just thought it was gonna look different. I guess you guys will see what I'm talking about in a second. I still have eyeliner on my eye from yesterday and I just can't get it off, so hopefully it kind of disappears as I do my shadow. Oh, and earlier I totally had like streaks of like makeup running down my nose. Didn't even realize it, and that's somewhat embarrassing. I'm hoping I just like wiped my nose and that's what happened, unless I just never blended it out. Because I've been out in public already and I just saw that and I was like, did I really just go out in public like that? The answer is probably yes. So yeah, as you can see, this is definitely a lighter purple. It's more like a fuchsia color really, at least, I don't know. So that off the bat to me was just kind of like meh. It just looks different in the pan. I don't know. I just thought it was going to be a little bit darker of a purple. Obviously not super dark, but it just seems like a different color than what I was expecting at least. And maybe you just have to keep building it up to kind of get that level of like, was it opacity? Like, so I don't know. But diving into this color at first was just kind of like, really hoping I don't have anything in my teeth. I was totally finishing my breakfast as I was doing this look, so there might be a surprise in there for you guys. I totally had one. I have something in my teeth, or I had like something on my nose one video, and I named him Bob. I think I named him Bob. I don't remember now. Okay, and I'm dipping into another color and blending this out. It is the shade Love Note. I totally forgot to pick that up and show you guys, but it's the lighter, like lilac-y shade that's right above that Heart Eyes shade, which I also don't think I actually showed you guys. What am I doing with my life? Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're starting, actually I think I did. Sometimes I like forget what I just did. I literally do that all the time. So I started with this shade right here in case I didn't show you guys. And then this shade right here is going to be the shade that I used to blend everything out. And as I was doing this, I did kind of have to go back and forth between these two shades to kind of make everything the amount of like, I don't even know what word I was even thinking of saying there, but what I was experiencing, and it's probably just the brush that I'm using too, probably too big of a brush. I'm probably picking up too much pigment, but this shade was almost completely like devouring the other shade, so then I had to go back in and kind of liven up the other shade to make sure that we still have depth in here. I mean, the shades just, they're not like performing badly really. The darker purple one, when I was using it on my other eye, I felt like it was a little patchy at first, but it seemed to be manageable. Let's see. So from here I went in, actually I need to take a little bit of the lighter shade and just kind of dabble that right in here. Okay. So from here, I'm going to take my glitter primer that always ends up on the floor like everything else. So my glitter primer, I'm just going to start calling it GP because like glitter primer. Okay, never mind. Maybe I should like come up with a name for it, or I should just call it my GP. I don't know, maybe, what would I name the glitter primer? Like if I put a name on the glitter primer, probably something with G. We'll name her Gail. Okay, this is Gail. I don't know. My brain sometimes. Like usual, just using a little bit of glitter primer before I put on my shimmers. So taking it with my finger, patting it on the lid, and then also bringing it up a tiny bit as well past the crease. And from there, I'm going to apply this shade with my finger at first. This is going to be the Candy Graham shade. Still forever will remind me of those little lollipops that you would buy and send to people in school. I will say I got a ton of fallout while using this shade, like a lot, so definitely, honestly, if I knew it was going to be that way, I probably wouldn't have even applied this shade before I did my foundation. And I went really light with my foundation today. I was just going to add a little bit more concealer for extra coverage later. I actually used the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. Is it actually a foundation? I honestly don't know what they consider it. I think they call it like a foundation, but I really think it's more like a BB cream. Anyway, or like something along those lines of that, but I don't remember if they actually call it a foundation or not. Okay, so that's pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, I got a bunch of fallout like right in here. And then also with that Cutie Pie shade, I'm about to use, it's the one right next to the one that we just used. It's the lighter pink, or like pinky purpley shade. This one right here. So this one also had some fallout. They're just a different formula than the other like shimmers in here too, because I mean you could just tell by looking at the pan really, but they're just like kind of chunky and meh. I don't know, maybe it's just the look that I'm going for today, but with the shimmers and everything, I'm just not feeling it. Okay, so that's basically it. I'm gonna go back into the shades that we started off with in the beginning. So Heart Eyes and Love Note. That'll be the shade underneath. Okay, and then I just used the off-white shade in the palette, Too Hot For You, I think is what it's called. And then just take a little bit of that and put it underneath my brow. And I was going to use a little bit of that Kiss Me shade because I feel like it would be a nice little addition underneath. So just picking up a tiny, tiny bit of that on my brush and putting it right where the arch, like right underneath the arch. I don't even know if you can really see that from here. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. And I don't know if I'm gonna put lashes on. I thought I was at first, but I may or may not come back with lashes on. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I'll go ahead and finish everything up and I'll talk to you guys about the palette briefly. Try to keep it short and sweet. Okay, so this is the finished look. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about everything. By the way, I don't know why I just kind of like slapped my chin a little bit, but the lip isn't exactly what I was kind of going for. I actually was thinking I was using a more pinky one. I have these two like e.l.f. liquid lips that I love and I use them both. Honestly, like if I am adding something to my lip and I want to use some sort of lip that isn't just glossy, I like using their matte liquid lipsticks. And I have, so one's Praline and one is Blushing Rose. Blushing Rose is a little more pink, more rosy. Praline is a little more brown toned. Praline is the one that I have on now. I honestly wanted to go with Blushing Rose, but I ended up picking up the wrong one, so I don't think it looks bad, but I was going in a different direction, which I held up. This is Praline, this is Blushing Rose, so you can already tell from the tubes that they're a little different, especially in undertone. Let's just talk about the palette really fast. I don't want to really do like a huge long review of everything. Overall, I felt like the quality was okay. You know, I didn't really use all of the other mattes and stuff, but the mattes that I used, especially that Heart Eyes shade, it wasn't as dark as what I was expecting, so that was a little disappointing. It was a little tiny bit patchy, but building it up wasn't bad. I don't necessarily think that these shadows were bad by any means, but the shimmers just weren't as powerful. Like when I was swatching them, I mean, I didn't use them all on my eyes, so it would be a little bit different. But when even like these swatches, like they're just hanging out here and they're just kind of losing their oomph. I don't even know if that's what you want to call it. So yeah, I didn't feel like the quality was necessarily bad, but the shimmers just weren't, I don't know, they just, I feel very underwhelmed by this palette. And when I was seeing it, it was like, oh, that's kind of cute, you know, like, no, it's not anything like crazy amazing, but it's like a cute, like more spring color like palette. It's exciting to see those colors come out again, you know, that the weather's gonna start getting a little warmer and all of that, and that itself like makes me happy. So I was like, you know what, I'll pick it up. It's fun, it's cute, why not? But as I was using it, I just like felt so underwhelmed. Like I wasn't really super inspired by it at all. I had a look that I wanted to do and then it just didn't end up, it just wasn't gonna work. After I did the swatches and everything, I just realized it just wasn't gonna be what I wanted it to be, so I decided to stay away from that route. The two shimmers that I used had a ton of fallout. Usually that doesn't bother me, but I had to keep packing on pigment to kind of like keep it how I wanted it to look. So it was kind of annoying at that point because like then I had fallout all over my face and all of that. But everything else is standard to your like standard Colourpop palette. It's just, the shimmer is just meh. I'm just underwhelmed by this palette, like as a whole. I don't know. Especially like looking at how the swatches are staying on my hand. I'm just like, they're going away and I'm not even doing anything. But I mean, the Kiss Me shade and that Lover shade, I'm excited to use those. I was excited to use these, but I think what I'm like trying to say is I don't think the quality of this palette is necessarily bad, but I don't know, the fallout of these two shades kind of bothered me. We'll just throw that out, but you know, yeah, it's fallout, so I just wouldn't recommend doing your like base makeup before you use those shades, I guess. Then the other thing, like just looking at this color story, and these definitely aren't identical by any means, but I honestly prefer the Truly Madly Deeply palette to this one. Like, if you have this palette here, so this is Truly Madly Deeply. It's another like exclusive to Ulta. So this is another Colourpop palette. So this one is absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed this palette. And then this is what we have here. And I feel like Colourpop already has like other palettes that are similar to this already anyways. I don't think there are any ones that I own, because when I was going through them I was like, well, this one's like, you know, like, no, these aren't identical, but I really like this one. I don't feel like I need this one, if that makes sense. And yes, they are totally different. If the color palette in You Are a Cutie, if you don't have that already, then I feel like you would like it. I'm thinking with some, I don't know, I don't like how like crumbly the bottom two shimmer shades were, but that could also change depending on the base that you use too. So if this isn't a color palette that you already have, then you might be interested in this. I just am not like dying over these shades right now. I don't know what it is. It's like in my head these two don't even exist, and then we just have the rest of the palette and I'm just like, meh. Oh, I'm underwhelmed, and I keep wanting to say overwhelmed for some reason, but underwhelmed. So since I have this palette here, this one is just absolutely beautiful. Like, I recommend this one over that one. I know they aren't identical, but they do have your purpley pink shades in there, also your neutral shades. So I think that's enough. Like, I really do. So yeah, that's kind of my general thoughts on this palette. I don't want to keep talking your guys' ear off, especially since I'm just kind of like, meh, you know, just like, meh. It could be worse, it's okay. That's kind of how I feel. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video, trying to end this off on a positive note. So I hope you guys liked this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. At least we have really cute packaging, like, come on. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you next time.